Cancer, sun, moon, and rising. The beginning of April through to the end of June, luck is finding you. So it's a nice vibe. You got to take action. You got to seize the day. Career blessings as well as maybe an unexpected windfall that could come your way. You might be ambitiously pursuing something new. Oh, and be careful for your spouse in general, having an accident or injury around the home. You might need a break. Conflict in the career space with an authority figure or a boss who's acting like a selfish little child. This is where you need to take some time off. Difficult conversations will be had, and a surge of unexpected, surprising increase or gains in your career or windfalls or pennies from heaven lights up your sky. You might be very happily and pleasantly surprised. Here's an opportunity, but stand up for what you want and what is right for you.
Lunatic Astrology.
Hello, Cancer, sun, moon, and rising. The month of April 2026 is one of the better months that you're going to have because in 2026, you have a Jupiter exalted in your sign. He went direct in March 11th, and now he's got some real mojo this month ahead. We're also going to see a lot of dignity in our sky. The eclipses are behind us, and you can see career changes, particularly positive and dynamic ones occurring that will increase your financial gain from the work or career path that you take. And there are many more things in that to talk about in our week by week, blow by blow of what's going on in your sky in 2026 in the month of April. So I'm recording this way in advance for you guys on March the 8th. So I don't have no idea how hell in a handbasket life has gotten in terms of the world, but our lives are also more than just the world. We have our own agency and our own stories. And so let's get into some positive ones for you, Cancer. If you're listening for sun sign, career purpose related matters, moon sign, home and nest, and of course the rising sign is your simulation avatar character, try listening for all three, especially rising and especially sun. Sun gets more potent as an actual timing tool after the age of 44 or 45. And hello, welcome here. My name is Lori Lothy, and I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac. And I love astrology as a map of time. We have all kinds of maps, GPS to get from, one city to the other, one place to the other in our lives. But astrology gives us a time map, not a place map. And so if you want to know how to time your life, including your best life in 2026, you can grab my 2026 individual videos. And they are only $22. They are 2.5 hours long. It comes with a PDF guidebook for the year ahead. And you can get the whole sign bundle for your sun, moon, and rising to share with friends and family. Let's face it, you still have April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Yes, that is 8 more months left in the year of 26. Go check it out below. If I seem a little bit like, did she not remember anything? It's just because I have autistic burnout. Happens every now and then, being a high functioning, high masking autistic female. But I will tell you that doesn't mean that I'm not completely on my astrology game. It just means that sometimes my brain wants to hide into a cave, never come out. And I get demand avoidance, which means I have things I must attend to, and I just want to suck my thumb. So let's get going, Cancer, sun, moon, and rising. Why am I telling Cancers that? Because you guys have more empathy and compassion and like mama vibes. So I guess I feel like I need to talk to you. Thank you for listening. This is your sign, and we will pretend the sun is in Cancer and we pretend the moon is in Cancer when we're talking about Cancer, sun, moon, and rising. So we look at it as if they're here and in the first house, and therefore this is the derived whole sign house system. Please use whole sign houses. Find out how to cast your chart in whole sign houses. My free video tutorial underneath the video. Some people go, oh, I don't like my chart in whole sign houses. You cannot actually use timing tools called Time Lords without whole sign houses. So just forget about your personality not feeling right. Trust me, in order to time your best life, you need whole sign houses and you need traditional planetary rulerships. Let's get going. Oh, and I am teaching my Divine Timing Masterclass for advanced beginner and intermediate astrologers in May. There'll be 5 classes for the month of May. Come join me then. Information about it in the description box below. Now, the first thing I need to say about this guy is that you probably are all grumpy because you told me, a lot of you, Jupiter sucks ass. He's been in my sign ever since last June, and I got no lucky breaks. Nothing great seemed to happen. Well, there's a lot of things that happened last summer. Mostly Jupiter squared Saturn precisely as Saturn was in Aries. So yes, you had a delayed positive result. Okay, the break was on. But now Jupiter is not in an aspectual degree-based relationship to Saturn. Jupiter is moving direct. Jupiter is on a powerful star for almost the entire month of April. This is Sirius, the dog star. Take it or leave it. It's a good Jupiter. Between the beginning of April through to the end of June, luck is finding you. You are lucky. You are growth, expansion, and goodness. You are leaderful. Take it or leave it. You might also be very fertile, and pregnancy for you and partners or grandchildren coming your way may occur under this last few months of this story through to June the 30th. Now, let's go week by week through the sky, and we're going to try to keep it to 30 minutes. Good luck with that, but I keep trying. And we're going to start with April 1st to the 7th. On April the 1st, as soon as we begin the month, we see we are going to have a full lunation around 12 degrees of Libra when it's exact. This means there's a full moon in your fourth house, like a spotlight in the midnight hour, and it is opening up a channel of new growth, expansion, or completion regarding matters of home, nest, and private life. Now, sometimes a full moon down here is just you're going to be spending more time in the home, but you planted a new moon seed in your fourth house way back when on October 21st. So now there's a fulfillment of that. This new moon is full moon is ruled by Venus in your career gains sector and up here. And if you want to consider that any of you who work in and from the home professionally, this could allow for greater career gains in and from the home and an increased wages, salaries, or success in your career. Otherwise, also fulfillment of anything to do with the home that you wanted to accomplish starting last October may occur. And because of the trine to Pluto from the moon, in general, there may be an opportunity to refinance a home, remortgage a home, buy a home, sell a home. Those things could occur as well. For very, very few of you, there may be an inheritance coming through from a family of origin member over the course of the 6 months that follows the new moon. Look for the new moon on April 1st plus 2 weeks to give you the lay of the land. You'll see a lot of the major themes 2 to 3 weeks after the moon, giving you clues about where things are going and what it really means. On April the 1st to the 4th, Mercury trines Jupiter. I like Mercury here. Mercury is a good news guy. He's got something he wants to deliver, something beautiful. And Jupiter says, okay, let's go to bat together. I think that you could have some very positive developments regarding children and grandchildren. Both of those are true. Children and university, children and life's purpose, children and children having children. If you have grandchildren, some positive developments and news in the life of grandchildren. And with Jupiter up here, Jupiter in your sign, ruling what Mercury is up to. There's good news when it comes to ninth house things, right? Foreign travel, foreign lands, a sibling too old or a sibling for younger, book publishing deals, university educational positive things, getting your greatest grade ever in university, getting accepted at your favorite university, getting good news about winning in a court and legal matter. Even the smallest thing, guys, even the smallest court and legal matter. It could be anything. So all said and done. Yeah. Feels good. Feels like you're going to like it. Feels like you are celebrating it. How yummy this news vibe feels. April the 1st to the 4th. Thank you, Mercury, Jupiter. On the 3rd, 4th, Venus will square Pluto. I talk fast. Slow me down in the playback speed. Venus, love and beauty, money, pleasure, Pluto, power and transformation, death and rebirth. Now, this is intense because it's a square. It's on the 3rd and 4th, but it's underneath that same sky that gives you the good news Jupiter story. Venus will be here, moving through Taurus, your house of great gains in your career, but also windfalls and pennies from heaven. Now, you could also call this a good thing in some ways because there is chunks of money where Pluto's delivering you a chunk of money connected to work, career gains, career success, a sibling one older than you, and friends, benefactors, and allies. With Venus giving you the good news here, she also rules your 4th house of home, property, real estate, and Pluto's where mortgages and banks are. So an opportunity to sell or purchase property could come through this, and it feels like a blessing. Or you could be getting some more uptick and success in your career financially, but looking at it more like a kind of chunk of money. You might get a tax rebate connected to your career and be surprised by that. We'll get to more of that later. It's more likely to show up a little later in the month. You could find out there's a powerful story going on in the life of a sibling one older, and it would have to do for that sibling, perhaps with great career success that they were having in their life, and you're just witnessing their success. But we're looking for that first 4 days of April for that story to be emergent. On the 5th and the 6th, Sun and Jupiter will square for kind of a golden opportunity, and it requires you to take action. Sun is in your career space. Jupiter is in your first house. You probably need to take the kind of old bull by the old ram's horns, exalted Sun, exalted Jupiter. Jupiter direct, it's good, it's powerful, it's positive. You should like this feeling. I'll show you where it is exactly right here. You're going to see it building up here on the 4th, the 5th, the 6th. And there it is. Look at that. Look at that. And you'll see that probably on the 5th and the 6th, it's going to feel like something is demanding that you level up in your career, but that will make you joyful and successful and leaderful and maybe bountiful. So this is you kind of really stepping up your A game when it comes to career and reputation matters. And you might even be put into a position of higher authority in your career, higher power, higher job, career, professional success. Now, don't forget, if you're self-employed, okay, that's sort of true as well. But if you're working for other people, it's even more so with the moon in Sag during the time that this is occurring. It's like you're leveling up within the workspace itself. If you need a job and don't have a job, this is your lucky time to get a job, especially the interview time or getting a call back that you got the position or being asked to take the interview. And this is where you're starting to like really feel the momentum here and the Sun is the ruler of Leo, which is going to bring you more money. So it increases your income as well. So it's a nice vibe. You got to take action. You got to seize the day. Carpe diem. On the second week of April, from the 7th to the 14th, we're going to see Mars sextile Uranus. Mars sextile Uranus. Mars says take action and make decisions. Uranus says sudden, swift, and quick and breakthrough. Sometimes Mars and Uranus can feel very exhilarating. Mars will be moving through the sign of Pisces, completing a journey here for 6 weeks. And as he goes through this part of your chart, he's going to activate the surprise god himself. This can look like something to do with lucky breaks and good fortune when it comes to foreign lands and shores, a sibling one older, career gains and long-range goals and plans. It can also look like you need to take an action or make a decision, ninth house stories, right? To really go towards a greater purpose when it comes to your path in life. And you might be lining up such a decision and making it happen around that time. There are other people that belong to the ninth house. So it could involve a sibling too younger than you and a surprising development too older than you and a surprising development in that sibling's life. It could also mean something is going to offer up an opportunity for travel. Mercury is direct. He likes to protect travelers to foreign lands and distant shores. Mars is also up for the adventure. And it may be a travel opportunity connected to a sibling one older, to siblings in general, and to your own friendship circles and groups. Some travel opportunity emerging here around April 7th to the 9th. On April the 12th to the 13th, we're going to see Mercury in Taurus sextiling Jupiter. Now, Taurus, did I say Taurus? Who am I talking about? I just had a brain fart. I'm sorry, Venus, the goddess of everything good in her home kingdom of Taurus, sextiling Jupiter exalted. So there's a benefic energy, a positive double down your luck energy going on. Venus here by the way, Venus will be blessing your 11th house of career gains, hopes, dreams, and wishes, pennies from heaven and windfalls, life of the elder sibling, friendship circles and groups. Okay. Venus blesses that part of this chart for a while. I should give you that time. All right. She will be here between March 31st and April 23rd. So for those first 3 weeks plus in the month of April, you've got superior career blessings as well as maybe an unexpected windfall that could come your way. If you're going to get an unexpected windfall, your best chance of doing that, just so you know, like even a lottery win, is going to be between March the 31st and April the 9th. So play the lottery in that time frame. It has to do with Mars and Venus and all of that. I was talking about Venus, and I was talking about how Venus, as she is moving through Taurus, will actually love up Jupiter around the 12th to the 13th of the month. Now this feels good. There's like, okay, look at that building up here around the 11th, 12th, 13th, and what you can do with this, or 14th even. There could be a financial surge in your career. There could be more money coming. There could be an award. There could be an opportunity to be more visible in your career. There could be an opportunity to do a podcast or be in a public, go on somebody's podcast or be put in front of the office staff to tell your story or to win Employee of the Year award or something like that. Jupiter says lucky break, and Venus is in the gains of the career space, you see. So there is a lot of positivity going on for you. Feels very fortunate to you. You like the vibe. You're happy for it all. You're certainly not complaining. Okay. Maybe even you could find this a good time as well to purchase a lottery ticket with that sextile between these two planets. Even though I do think that by the 10th of April, you're losing some momentum in the luck. Okay. So then if you really want to work it, I mean, I'm not your lottery gal, I'm not your bookie, but I kind of go like this. I would say here, 12 to 16. Yeah. By April 9th, it's waning. So you kind of lose some juice there. Okay. Mars, Neptune defog. Mars will crash into Neptune. This is like putting the defogger on your car so you can see through the windshield. And where you've been confused and unsure, because you want to make your dreams real when it comes to your career over the next until April of 28 with Saturn and Neptune together in your 10th house. And you're unsure about what your career dreams making real means to you. You might be fogged out, inertia, confusion, uncertainty. If that has happened, Mars will clear that fog and give you a kind of no way you cannot see it. And you're being realistic, but also inspired here about the career story and what it is you're trying to accomplish. And it's especially powerful for those of you who are artists, creatives, or more independent person, right? You have your own business or you have your own schedule, you're consulting rather than you're in a complete hierarchical structure. On the next time frame, the 14th to the 21st, there's a very, very lot happening. Now, Mercury, the messenger of the gods, but also just Mr. News Guy, right? That's what his duty is, to give you some news, reaches the tail end of his 2.5 month journey since February 7th through the sign of Pisces because of retrogradation, going back and forth about your purpose and meaning in life, about grandchildren, about academics, about travel, yes, no, maybe, about a lot of things like fogged out, even court decisions not coming to fruition and no clarity there. And then Mercury now is going to complete that story. And as he does so, he comes into this energetic powerhouse with Uranus. Usually it's an unexpected bit of news or information. You're going to feel it picking up on the 13th and the 14th. And that's exact on the 14th, waning on the 15th. So look for some kind of a surprising news with Venus watching the story from her domicile, directing Uranus, who's still close to Algol, a well star. And there's luck in the 9th house. There's luck to be had there. You could have some really lucky breaks when it comes to your career, your friendship groups and circles. An elder sibling in your life could also come into a windfall or a lucky break. And you might just have a nice glow up in your career, and it might surprise you. There's something surprising, unexpected, exciting. All right. If you're looking for a job and you don't have one, this can be human resources or headhunters or leg up, helping you from a friend to get into a position to secure that new work. So it can actually work as a kind of a springboard in an exciting, surprising, and fast moving way. And at all, if you're into the publications and book publishing industry, you could get an agent. You might find yourself getting an advance on your work. You might get yourself a decent publisher out of this story. Mars and Pluto will come into a sextile. Mars and Pluto are in like indomitable, strong, superpowered will. You are unstoppable in some area of reality. It looks like you're working hard in your career space with Mars in his home kingdom. Mars is in his home kingdom in your career and reputation and professional space for a very long time, from April the 9th until May the 19th. This means that you are going gangbusters in work. You're passionate, you're driven. Some of you could quit a line of work. Doesn't mean all work goes away, but you could say, well, I'm done with that kind of work. You may choose to leave it, but also at the same time, you might be ambitiously pursuing something new. So it has multiple meanings. So Mars is pretty powered up here. And one of the things you'll notice is that he's going to be talking with Pluto, which is where your determination is pretty unstoppable. And you may also be determined almost from a kind of place of about wealth and acquisition of wealth and being able to pursue more wealth, whether you're going to save it or you're going to invest it, it doesn't matter. And this intensity is here, is powerful. You're just plowing forward. I mean, ambition, drive, willpower, career, money. That said, we've got some difficult stories that'll be emerging as well. So just wait till we get there. It's coming up soon. If you're going to be plowing forward with a ton of energy, you're probably best to get most of that done between April the 9th and the 17th, okay? 17th, 18th. That's where you're the strongest and most potent when it comes to ambition, drive, and success, because later on you're going to hit a wall. So we'll talk about the wall shortly. On the 17th or so of the month, we have a new moon in Aries. It's at 27 degrees. Well, at the very same time, around the 16th, 17th, Mercury will move into a Neptunian embrace. Don't forget, Mars has cleared the fog. You've got clarity about making career dreams real. Now Mercury will follow suit and come into around the 16th, a conjunction to Neptune. That can be a little bit of a confusion sometimes because Mercury doesn't always see how to deliver information or understanding or news as clearly as he could. But you also might get some communication from a Neptunian person. All right, Neptunian people, Hollywood, glamour, filmmaking, that kind of thing. And, communication, a phone call, text messages, or emails. You might get a chance to go on someone's social media platform and be publicly displayed in a videography style under this sky, this April 16th sky. You're going to go on someone's show or someone's channel or someone's podcast or something like that. And then we move past that little short-lived, guys, short-lived. With Mercury Neptune here, it's not going to last. It's going to be a couple of days and it's done, 16th, 17th. And then on the 17th, the new moon at 27 degrees of the sign of Aries. New beginnings and fresh starts emerge in your 10th house. This might feel to you very, very powerful because not only you're starting something new, it's a new moon under the auspices of Saturn and Neptune together up here, which is very rare, and Mars, which is at ambition and drive. So you want a new beginning in some professional, visible stature in the world. And understand that this could also be new beginnings in marriages for some of you because Saturn is up here and he rules your marriage house. So it can look like weddings or divorces as well over the course of the next 2 years, really. 2 years? Did I say 2 years? Why did I say that? Over the course of the next 6 months. A significant other, like a marriage partner in your life, also could come into a new start and a new beginning that requires determination and willpower, especially if it involves the home you guys are living in. They might want to buy or build or change or structure or hammer together or architect something new in and from your home. But if it's really just about you as well, we don't have a significant other to talk about vis-a-vis Saturn, then I'm going to tell you that, and be careful for your spouse in general, having an accident or injury around the home, okay, around the 17th to the 21st. But the new moon is a new beginning and it's a fresh start and it's an exalted energy with the sun there. And it's being witnessed by Jupiter in your sign. So it should more or less, all said and done, no matter what these new beginnings are professionally, it could open up more money, more income, more success, more drive, more ambition over the course of the 1 month that follows the new moon. And of course, 6 months as well as we wait for the next cycle to start in the full moon that comes after that. What about this? Mercury sextiles Pluto to dig up information. What is hidden from your view in the 8th house? It could be many different things. Mercury is going to give you some information that you may not have. Most often, this could come from father figures. It could come from your spousal side of the family, and the other thing it could do, because Mercury up here, he does have some dominion over, rulership over your siblings. And so it can be some news that nobody knew about mom, dad, family of origin, siblings, and revelations, especially given that Mercury coming into Pluto has gone through the fog of the Neptunian story. See, so there's okay, What's being uncovered, unearthed about mom and dad or siblings. I bet you that's going to happen. Keep that on your radar. That's a good interpretation of what's going on here. All righty. On the 17th, 18th, and 19th of the month. Okay, now we're going to talk about hitting the wall. You've been unstoppable April the 9th to about the 17th, 18th, and all of a sudden you're exhausted or you just can't go on anymore. You got the gas brake in the parking brake / gas pedal going all at once. It's like you're hitting a wall in the career space. You might need a break. Might be burnout. Some of you might face a conflict in the career space with an authority figure or a boss who's acting like a selfish little child. Is an old guy with the spirit of an imp. You might hit a wall with something to do with your reputation and your marriage. This could cut your marriage. All of a sudden, you look like you might be getting a divorce. All of a sudden, your spouse is walking away all of a sudden, and you find this to be a very challenging 5, okay? Now, Mars is in his home kingdom. The sun is still there, exalted as the wall hitting happens. So it has this Mercury information news triple conjunction. I'm not going to say this is easy. I'm just going to not parse that, right? Here you have the most intense day, April the 19th. A sun is in a turbulent degree, exalted. Mars is in his home kingdom. Saturn is fallen. Mercury is just delivering the news or information. So like if you got guys, I don't want to worry you, but if you got news that like your spouse, says, I want to out, we're going to divorce, that would be an example. This can be about significant people in your life and unexpected difficulty with that situation with them. It could also involve something difficult in the lives of one of your children to do with their life, okay, with Mars up there ruling your house of children, and a firstborn and a secondborn child, and some difficult information news about their life. One of your children could be like, what do you call it? Lose their apartment, lose their home, have to leave their home. Another one could have some problems with their job and lose their job. So there's stuff around that kind of stuff with children as well. And it's in your reputation house, but it's because I'm deriving houses for you. So, but the simplest explanation is you're exhausted. You've been making a lot of effort and you might be making more money and also taking a lot of time to like really charge forward with unstoppable drive. And suddenly you're just exhausted. So I'm going to give you advice, right? And it comes to career, reputation, money making, job stuff. This is where you need to take some time off. This would be like ideal to say from the 16th, 17th. Well, let's go 17th of the month, 16th, 17th of the month to about the 20th of the month. If you could take a break, it would be good. Slow down. It would be good. The 18th to 21st, Mercury will actually be right on top of Mars. Now we had the nervous breakdown and then Mars continues forward and Mercury joins Mars together. They're at 8 degrees. And this is sometimes news that's either going to propel you to make a life decision of great magnitude, or this is news that's going to be a difficult conversation with X, Y, and Z under your chart with a spouse, with a child, and with a boss. Those difficult conversations will be had, and they are necessary around April the 20th. On the last week of the month, April 21st April 21st until the end of the month, the first thing we have is the last in a lifetime Venus conjunction to Uranus. Here, we won't see it again. It's been happening on and off every year, ever since 2019. Wow, what is this, guys? Or maybe it's even happened in 2018, but since then it's been once a year. Now we still have Algol pretty close at hand in the last 2 or 3 years. That's a well star, or off with their heads. You could have it, off with their heads moment to do with a goal, a dream, a friend, a sibling, one older. But what you've got going on here is the last in a lifetime. So Venus will begin to wake up Uranus. You're going to feel it on the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, boom. And those days are extremely important for some unexpected surprise. Now, here's the good news. The sun will be here too, which is not too shabby. The sun rules the house of money. And this is the house of pennies from heaven and windfalls. And while everything else has been like a shit show, this is another one of those times where you could win the lottery. So this is where the sun ruling the money house and a surge of unexpected, surprising increase or gains in your career or windfalls or pennies from heaven lights up your sky. So the best I can say is look for some positive financial surprises, likely connected to livelihood, work, and career, earnings, money, and resources. And you'll notice that we also have this beautiful flowing energy going on here from the Vestal flame of sacred devotion around the same time, around the 23rd. And that is flowing to a moon in your house and Jupiter. So you kind of got this like beautiful magical triangle lighting you up. And I meant to put in Juno for you. Apologize. Anyway, lighting you up. And I'm wondering if this triangle is going to offer up some kind of golden opportunity of a lifetime, not just a windfall. You could get accepted at your favorite university. Your children could announce they're going to make a child. A child is on the way. A grandchild is on the way. That's the kind of vibe here. You might be very happily and pleasantly surprised. Don't be afraid of this energy at all. On the 24th to the 26th, the sun will square Pluto. Well, that's kind of a tough one. Usually a power struggle can come out of that. You could be having a power struggle with a sibling, one older, a friend. Up here in the 9th house, the 11th house, those are those people that belong to that part of the sky. Pluto, of course, is in your money house, taxes, resources, earnings. And there's maybe a challenge around money, earnings and resources, career. It could be taxes, accounting. It could be your significant others' family's money, the in-law money, and a power struggle there. A power struggle in your life of your significant other regarding money and a sibling too younger. Like there's multiple ways it could show up. I just say, watch out for power struggles. This is the best I can put it. And about money with friends, benefactors, allies, a sibling, one older, etc. It's short-lived. The power struggle lasts from the 24th to the 26th. And then on the 26th to the 27th of April, Mercury gives you an opportunity. He did the same thing at the very first 4 days of the month where he hooks up to Jupiter. It was easier opportunity, more lucky vibe, more graceful in the first 4 days of April. This is much more demanding opportunity through information or news because Mercury will be in Aries, by the way, and he will square Jupiter. And that's very a cardinal aggression square. You could still be working something out with a spouse under this, the hard conversation that could have happened with a spouse. And you are exalted. So you are stronger than Mercury. But for some of you, it could also be some career negotiation or opportunity. And Jupiter says you're lucky. Let's go for it. And yet, especially because Jupiter rules your work house, but it also can take a bit out of you. Like you have to leap because the net has already appeared, right? And you know that this is an opportunity, but something in you might want to push back. And because Mercury likes to negotiate, it could be negotiations regarding career opportunities and job matters. Okay. And as this is occurring, we also have a moon in an earnings house. So there's a lot going on here with here's an opportunity, but stand up for what you want and what is right for you. Okay. You could be negotiating a promotion, a raise, an increase in salary under this opportunity energy on the 26th to the 27th of the month. We finish strong with Venus sextiling Neptune and Venus trining Pluto in the last part of the month. Now, the idea here is that this is going to be Venus having moved into your 12th house, where she's going to be sitting now in your 12th house, which is good for international borderless revenue and income, barter and trade, import, export, working in another country and making money by living there like a nomad, or making international revenue in digital income. This is going to be with you for the next 7 years. Every time she comes back, she'll remind you of these possibilities. This is occurring April 24th to May 19th, where she's going to travel your Gemini 12th house. This is good for ashrams and getaways for spiritual retreats that bring exalted pleasure, including pilgrimages and Camino type stuff and, finding solace on a mountaintop or a seaside resort, etc. Now, as Venus is going through this part of your sky, we're going to notice she ends strong with a sextile to Lord Neptune, and she also will come into a trine to Pluto. What we get is a miniature grand trine for the last few days of the month, starting around the 26th. Well, I could say that you might find yourself wanting to sell or buy property unexpectedly. Venus rules your 4th house. Pluto is mortgages and contractual agreements with Juno. And you had no plans to buy or sell real estate, for example, and all of a sudden something's really germinating all of a sudden very, very quickly. Now, this kind of sky could open up also professional opportunities connected to a change of locale, a change of residence. This would also perhaps bring you an inheritance out of the blue that you weren't expecting. Because Saturn and Neptune are both involved, it would be from somebody elder, or money coming through a divorce settlement, or money from a sale of a property, or money from the in-laws. Those are all ways that this could work out in surprising ways. But, come on, Venus and Uranus are in a hospital setting ruled by Mercury in the 10th house with Saturn. An elder authority figure ends up in a hospital setting. An elder spouse ends up in a hospital setting. Well, you're saying, what's so positive about that? Well, not everything is positive, but it could be something going on where it increases how much money you have. So unfortunately, we end up with money when people pass away and leave money to us. And sometimes, well, it's not overtly positive. It is positive for the pocketbook and wallet. And that could be another thing I could see here for the end of the month as well. That's what business partnership deals with people from far off lands and distant shores that are quite positive and develop it into something very potent for your career could also open up for you in the last few days of April after the 26th of the month. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit my notification bell so you don't miss a thing. This astrology work for me as a passion. It's my total deep dive, autistic special interest. If you like this kind of astrology, don't forget this is something I do because you keep pushing me to do it. Because you hit the like button, you subscribe, you hit the hype. Join me on Substack, where I work weekly, highly predictive and accurate world astrology articles. I put out individual all signs audio podcasts every week, different from what I do on YouTube. You can also join me in my members only here, where I have live streams and do other things like teach you little mini classes and talk about controversial topics I can't do anywhere else. It's very cheap to join my YouTube community on YouTube. It's only $3 American and a month, and you can always quit. And then you could always check me out or come see what I'm like over on my Patreon community. I teach 4 Zoom calls a month. We have a great time over there, and you can go check me out for the different tier levels of exposure to the teachings I do there all the time. So join me in all my other communities. This is not my only place that I hang out. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Lunatic astrology.